Alrighty, let's go ahead and talk about Call for an Uprising. Or is it Call for Fudge Kittens? Or is it... who knows at this point? I know that the Call for Fudge Kittens channel no longer exists, technically speaking. Well, it does exist. Rather, it's just now called Call for an Uprising, because originality is not his forte. But we're going to talk about that here in a sec. Before we do that, we need to get into the fan art section. So this is a piece of fan art that was submitted by YaraKoro. It said it was a current work in progress drawing before work, because that is where they get their motivation. And honestly, I'm actually going to show one more fan art. Normally I would only show one now that we've caught up on a lot of stuff, but this is a work in progress of something that I already have seen the completed version of, and people on stream have seen the completed version of, by Ivana Dragmeyer. And thanks to YaraKoro, Catboy Milk is back there. Why? Just why? Anywho. As always, thank you all for the fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be featured on a future video, the best way to do so is dropping it into the Discord. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at a Call for an Uprising. Now, with the letter 4, number 4 here. If you look up a Call for Fudge Kittens, it brings you to this channel because he has gone ahead and renamed this video. So, let's go ahead and see what a Call for a ban evasion has been doing today.
This is a Call for an Uprising. Welcome to today's show. You might want to share this with people. It might actually make their brains start to think.
Oh, really? Will it? Okay, let's see.
Now, you may not have been paying attention to this, but I have.
Okay.
And there have been a lot of stories out there about people's behavior. People on planes are becoming unruly. Yes, of course, this passes new laws, new restrictions, which is part of everything that they're trying to do. But it also makes you use your brain and wonder why.
Wait, hold on. So, people on planes are being unruly? Let's think of a couple reasons why people on planes might be being unruly. Well, travel has been a whole lot harder to manage right now because of COVID restrictions. Mask mandates are a thing, which are very inconvenient for a lot of people. And vaccine passports have been a conversation piece for a while. That's a lot of reasons why people might potentially be unruly on planes. Also, the video is a tad loud. Okay, I'll lower it down. I literally cannot see volume levels on my Streamlabs right now.
Why are people on planes being unruly? Why are hospital attendants and doctors now using panic buttons because the people in the hospital they're treating are being so unruly and vicious?
Well, could it possibly be because we have an incredibly polarized society who are burdened under a shit ton of stress right now, thanks to a combination of legal mandates being passed down, lockdowns causing people to become stir-crazy, and, again, the incredibly polarizing political landscape causing people to view their neighbors as enemies despite the fact that they probably agree on more than they don't, just because they happen to be part of a different political party? Any of those things could possibly be the reason, but what reason does Call give?
Now, what in the world could be happening to make all of these people at the same time start to behave very strange and very different? Could they be putting something in their body that would make them different or change? Could it change their behavior?
No. We know the ingredients that are used in the vaccines. They are not ingredients that are going to largely change a person's behavior. Call behavioral modification through the usage of a vaccine is not a thing that is currently happening. But go ahead. Provide your evidence that that is what's happening.
Could brain waves be getting changed to manipulate? Those are all, of course, just hearsay. Nobody would ever believe something like that's happening.
Yeah, go ahead. Be the coward. Don't say what you believe with your chest, Call. The last time you did that, you got two strikes on a channel, and I passed 40,000 subscribers. Boy howdy. Still can't thank you enough for that, buddy.
That's why, everyone's just stressed out. That's what they'll tell you. Everybody's just overly stressed. That's why the behavior of people is getting more unruly, more vicious, more confrontational, and more frightening. Take a look at some of the stuff going on around our world.
Working in the emergency department, a lot of times our patients are becoming increasingly violent lately.
Nurse Ashley Blevins says in the past year, staff have been spit on, cussed out, and in some cases beaten by patients.
Yeah. And what reasons could that be? What instances have caused those altercations? Is Call going to give that context? Is he going to provide it? I mean, he's just showing the whole video. Let's find out.
So it's nice that we have the chance to press our button and then security knows exactly where we are, and if we end up having to chase a patient down, they know where our last location is.
Cox Branson's patient safety facilitator Angie Smith says after analyzing workplace violence numbers in Branson, she knew they needed this system.
Because of the way our property was laid out, it's going to have to work off of a GPS or wireless type system. So it was going to cost quite a bit of money.
Mindy Honey with Skaggs Foundation says when learning there had been 123 assaults on staff and 78 injuries,
we couldn't move quickly enough, and so
hold on. What is the actual location?
A bit of money.
Mindy Honey with Skaggs Foundation says when learning there had been 123 assaults on staff and 78 injuries,
we could.
Somebody in chat, did we catch the actual hospital this is happening in? Because I far be it from me for not trusting Call's potential analysis he's going to give here. I would like to actually look at what the hospital is saying happened. That's what I want to do.
Couldn't move quickly enough, and so this was one of the quickest grants we've ever funded before.
Honey says the grant is $132,000, and with assaults increasing, she says,
we're so vital to get this money into their hands right away, and so the thought that they can push that button and help will be on the way immediately, it was just a no-brainer for us to make that move.
Skaggs Foundation. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here. So, let's see here. Skaggs Foundation, this looks to be grants, program, scholarship. Okay, so their funding is what they are. Got it. Got it.
Smith says the emergency room nurses see a lot of violence, but it also happens all throughout the hospital.
It's in our critical care units, it's in our med surg floor areas. A lot of times it is a repeated violence as well. We may have the same patient doing the same thing or getting worse each time they do it.
Nurse Blevins says she thinks the pandemic has made an impact on these situations as well.
They come in here and then they have to sit in here because everywhere's full. We have no placements to put anybody. And that's just...
Wait, so the hospital's full, there's a pandemic happening, people can't be placed, and suddenly people are getting more violent? Oh, gee, it's almost like the reasons are pretty fucking mundane.
Frustrating on the patients, it's frustrating on us. I think that's increasing a lot of violence.
Flight attendants testified on Capitol Hill today and shared horror stories about the surge in unruly passengers during this pandemic. Now, the attendants
but that unruly passenger took off their mask.
are asking Congress to protect them. Here's CBS's Errol Barnett.
Unruly behavior in the air and abuse of flight attendants took center stage on Capitol Hill today.
Okay. I've lost count the times I've been insulted or threatened on a flight simply for doing my job.
With nearly 4,400 reported incidents this year alone, lawmakers are calling for more strict penalties to curb the increasingly bad and occasionally violent behavior.
Flight attendants, gate agents, and other airline employees have the right to go to work without the fear of being harassed, intimidated, abused, or assaulted.
Okay.
Period.
No!
The FAA has a zero-tolerance policy for unruly behavior,
I might get copyrighted, who knows?
imposing more than $1 million in fines. But Administrator Steve Dixon said the incidents are still too frequent.
We're still
Yeah?
a good 2 to 3 times above where we need to be.
One possible solution under consideration is further limiting alcohol to-go sales in airports.
I wonder if that's going to actually impact things. Yeah, no, why is this happening is a good question. But see, here's the thing. What Call is trying to insinuate is that people's brain waves are being altered by a magic potion, by taking a vaccine. A vaccine whose ingredients are known, whose side effects are known, where the data is in on what it does. That is what Call is trying to point to as to the reason why people are acting so weird. Now, I don't have to tell you that that's not what's happening. Yeah, the why is entitlement. Occam's razor is a really important tool, and maybe Call should learn how to use it.
I was getting a beer, and some guy asked for like 3 shots of vodka in a to-go cup.
The Flight Attendants Association said unruly passengers must be criminally prosecuted, not just fined.
Now, what do we need? We need DOJ criminal charges and enforcement. Make the FAA zero tolerance policy permanent.
Teddy Andrews, who testified today, gave us an example of the kind of abuse he now receives.
I said, sir, can you please put your mask on?
Really? Wait. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So, it was an anti-mask thing. Call. I know you're going to end up watching this video. Really? The idea that an anti-masker might be unruly? That idea didn't cross your mind before the magic potion conspiracy theory? So anti-vaxxers getting drunk? Who knows? Who fucking knows?
He looked up at me and said, N-word, I don't have to do a damn thing.
Now consider this, as the hearing ended, another incident took place, and we have video. Take a look at this. A 32-year-old passenger on Hawaiian Airlines was arrested after the airline says they punched a flight attendant unprovoked. The plane and all passengers had to return to Honolulu, Margaret, after that incident.
Well, now to South Carolina, where an elementary school student may likely be expelled. The reason, because of a TikTok challenge that involves slapping a teacher.
So, we actually have... What you're telling me is we actually have explanation for a lot of these incidents. We literally live in a very confrontational, polarized society right now. We literally are living under pandemic conditions with stressful lockdowns happening. We literally have people who have bought into giant anti-mask conspiracy theories and have therefore become violent when being told to please just put a piece of cloth over your fucking mouth so that I don't have to deal with your goddamn mouth germs while traveling to a different state. And here, we have a TikTok challenge where people are doing something stupid. Kids do stupid things when they have TikTok challenges that tell them to do them. It's not hard. How much of this... Okay, there we go. We finally get to Call. Let's get here.
All these years of flying the friendly skies, people are just on the plane. They're having enough with flight attendants. They're just getting struck for no reason. Passengers on flights are just getting in vicious. We've all been on planes before, right? And seen wrestling matches in the middle of the aisleway, suplexes, and yeah.
That's not what was being brought up, Call. That's hyperbole, but it's okay. Now, okay, look. They even admitted that this is happening at about, 3 times the normal rate? That's what their numbers showed. So, violence had been happening on airplanes before 2021, 2020. If this violence had already been happening beforehand, then what that tells me is that a surge of violence would likely be attributed to external factors. External factors like literally all the ones I've already listed today.
You know, because not only would you end up going to prison for a while, but you also don't even get to your destination because, you know, you just really need to get in a fight on a plane. Now, of course, some of the stories are there to blame booze or blame the stress that people are under with everything going on, the stress, and then, of course, with the children and the behavior in high schools and the behavior in middle schools being blamed on TikTok and other things. And
yeah, if the kid literally was responding to a TikTok challenge. Literally. Yes, that is where the blame is for that one. Dumb kid responds to TikTok challenge. Come on.
yes, that will have to do with restrictions of things on the internet, but it also has to do with behavioral changes. Must all be a giant coincidence, right? Now,
yes, because these are all disparate incidences that are not they themselves connected. See, this is what conspiracy theorists do. They try to connect all the dots on all the things happening in the world together and say, look, it's all connected. The only person who is actually drawing those connections, though, is the conspiracy theorist. The lines generally do not exist. So, here's an example. Correlation, causation. If you aren't familiar with the fact that certain things that correlate are not actually causative, then could I interest you in the fact that ice cream sales spike during the same time that homicides spike? Now, is there a comparison between these two? Is it that people are buying a lot more dairy and, well, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Violence. I would do violence for a Klondike bar. Is that what that means? No. Because just because things are happening that look coincidentally aligned does not mean that they are actually causatively linked. If this is all we're going to get from your thing call, where you actually aren't going to offer any evidence, you're just going to say, look at these coincidences, and then go, aha, it's the vaccine. Then of what use is your content? I've had your fans comment on my video where I said that paranoid conspiracy theories aren't worth it, to say that Call informs us. No, the fuck you don't. You bring your opinion in and you desperately try to link a bunch of shit to satanic rituals instead of actually tackling where corruption is or what kind of corruption there is. You are too concerned with the easy targets. People who believe that the vaccine is bad will already accept any information you give them that makes it seem more bad. People that believe that Hollywood is bad and are Christian are already going to accept every ounce of information you hand them that Hollywood is experiencing satanic rituals and all kinds of shit. It is the easiest, lowest fruit you can possibly grab, and in so doing, you stoke the flames of a gullible audience. A gullible audience that hops into my comment sections and then brings their gullibility here. And while I find it notoriously entertaining, I also find it increasingly sad. The unfortunate thing is that Quethum has decided to declare war. Really, Quethum? Really? You decide now? Is it always in a call video? Is that just what it is? It's always in a call for an Uprising video that you guys are going to do this? Quethum! Thank you for redeeming your 50,001 channel points so that you can force me at fricking gunpoint, channel point gunpoint, so that we don't get demonetized by YouTube, to say the stupidest phrase you could ever make me say. For 50,001 channel points, you get what you deserve. Oh, well. No, we're done. We're done. That's all you get. Just that. Fuck. Yeah, you decided to commit a war crime. You decided to make me say ooh. Almost said it again. Get out. Nope, all of you, get out. Nope, that's the end of the video. Whether or not I was planning on continuing Call for an Uprising's video, nope. Nope. This is officially the end. This is officially the end of the video. If you have any opinions on this, let me know in the comment section below. You got half of one for free. You got nothing for free. It came at the cost of my suffering and sanity. If you want to support my channel and what I do, you have ways of doing so. They are in the description below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, everyone, insert ooh-woo tagline here. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. If you want access to behind-the-scenes content for the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon. I do weekly vlogs over there, where I give real-life updates to what's going on behind the scenes on the channel, stuff that you don't really get over here, and even on Twitch. Patreon also helps the channel's stability a whole lot. Without Patreon, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. Especially with the kind of content that I do, neither YouTube nor Twitch are the most stable sources of income. If you are a $20 and up patron, then you will be featured on the ending slides as shown in the beginning of the end credits. If you want to catch the streams where all this content comes from, then consider heading over to Twitch and following. And if you want to continue watching over here on YouTube, maybe consider clicking one of the end screen videos. And once again, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me over on my channel. I wouldn't be able to do literally anything that I'm doing over here on YouTube without each and every one of you. So, thank you.